How's everybody doing? Welcome to the channel, SemperFi Mobile Auto Repair. Got called out to this 2005 Chrysler 300 with a 2.7 liter. Customer concern is that the vehicle will not start. Customer mentioned that in the morning they tried to start it and it cranked over really slow, then it stopped at that point. So we're going to start off first with taking a look at the battery, make sure it's fully charged, then we'll move forward from that. So the battery is located in the trunk. So we're going to go there first and check voltage and do a battery analysis on it as well. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is just take a look at what the state of charge is on this battery. And we're at 12.5, which pretty much is a fully charged battery. Well, let me do a test on it and see how the state of health is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a battery test on this. We're going to do out of vehicle test. I just want to do the battery by itself. Okay, see what the CCAs are. That's odd, it doesn't have it. Check over here. Nope. Normally it's on top, but let's just say based on the size, this would probably be I'll say at least a 650. So we're going to do 650, see where it's at. It is a flooded battery. Let's verify. Yeah, it is a flooded battery. So, come on. And we'll do, actually it's probably bigger than that. So we'll just do 700. Go ahead and start the test. Alright, so state of health is 100%, state of charge is 94%. So battery is definitely not the issue when it comes to starting. So now we're going to move forward and start looking. One is confirm the customer's concern and then take it from there. Alright, so now we're going to come in the vehicle, see what's going on. Nothing. We do have the engine light, which is a good sign. It's over here. We got the Prindle, which is good. Mileage is good. So that pretty much tells me that everything's alive. So now we're going to move forward and take a look at the starter, see what's going on, because there is nothing. Let's try it again. Alright, let's go take a look at the starting system. Alright, so we're taking a look at the wiring diagram here. So we're here at the TIPM and fuse 10 and fuse 20. We're going to be looking at those. Fuse 10 is hot only with the switch on, and fuse 20 is hot at all times. So this is 20 right here. So I just took the cap off. And the switch is off right now, so we should have power. And we do. Now what we're going to do is turn the ignition switch on and see if we have power on this 5 amp fuse, which is only on when you turn the ignition switch on. So we'll test right now. There's no power. So we'll go ahead and turn the switch on. Okay, so the ignition switch has been turned on. Okay, so there's nothing here. There's a 5 amp. Let me see, and that is, let me verify. Oh, that's only in the start. Go ahead and put in the, crank it to the start position. Yeah. There it is. Again, there it is. So definitely we have power in the start position. It's getting there. Now let's look at the relay, because it's a totally integrated relay. Let's see. I think that will be. Go ahead and hit the start position on the start again. Let go. Oh, again. Yeah. So this is it's an internal relay. I can hear it click. So it looks like everything's there. So now what we're going to do is go straight to the starter and see if we're getting the signals down there. All right. So I'm here at the bottom of the vehicle. We got a clear view of the starter. Got my test light connected to ground. I'm going to go after the battery terminal that comes from the battery to the starter. I want to make sure we got power there. Let's see here. So there it is. We do have power, but we have to load the circuit. So I'm going to have them crank it and make sure we don't lose the power feed. So go ahead and crank the vehicle. So as you can see, he cranked it and we still got a solid light. So we didn't lose the power feed. So go ahead and turn the switch off. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go after the signal wire on the solenoid. That's this one. I'm going to see if I can back probe it, but I can see an opening in front of the actual connector. You guys can see right there, right in front of it. So I'm going to touch the front and see if we're getting the start signal. So I'm going to go ahead. Well, look at that. Well. Look at that little fella's not even connected. So is this the problem that the customer has? Well, let's connect this bad boy and see if it starts. That might have been just the issue. But let's see. Let's see if I can get my hand in here. All right. I may not be able to show you guys this, but let's see if I can connect it. Sorry I can't show you guys this, because I gotta get in an angle to get my hand in there. Like I said, this is a really tight spot. Making sure I got it in there correctly. Hold on. Okay, looks like I got it in there. All right, so I just reinstalled the signal wire that goes to the solenoid. It's nice and tight now. All right, so we found out that the S terminal connector to the solenoid was disconnected. So I reconnected everything back in there. Now we're going to find out if that's the issue for this customer. So we're going to have him crank it. Go ahead and crank the vehicle. There you go. So that was the issue at hand. So if this helped you out, by all means give it a thumbs up. You can go out into cyberspace highway. And I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. Bye.